For more on this, we have with us Deepak Vora, who is a former Indian envoy to Sudan. Ambassador Deepak, welcome to WION The World is One. Thank you very much. How do you react to the rush by nations to evacuate their embassy staff and not their citizens from Sudan?
Thank you very much for this privilege to be with WION. It's a channel that I watch very closely, and you're watched very closely in Africa also. I'm wearing a jalabi, a Sudanese dress, a turban, and a waistcoat as a tribute to one of my best friends. I spent 5 years as your ambassador, who was killed in the fighting this morning. Habibi, rest in peace. We'll meet again. The good news is that the evacuation of foreign nationals has started even as fighting rages in Khartoum. Some people have traveled from Khartoum, the war-ravaged capital, to Port Sudan, some 700 kilometers north. And the airport becomes functional, Khartoum airport, now and then. By the way, many parts of this road from Khartoum to Port Sudan were upgraded by an Indian company. Of course, we have to get our people out of harm's way. Saudi Arabia has evacuated several dozen people, including Indian nationals, after External Affairs Minister spoke to his Saudi counterpart. We have very close cooperation with Riyadh in several areas. Sir, you might recall 2015, at our request, the Saudis stopped bombing Yemen for a couple of hours every day for 1 week, and we were able to bring out nationals of 41 countries. The Americans, by the way, have only brought out their own chaps from Sudan. Now, the question here is what are we...
Ambassador, let me just interrupt you there and ask you again the question. We are looking at citizens being evacuated as a second option from Sudan. Some of these nations, including the United States, the UK, have opted to remove their staff members as opposed to their citizens. Why is that?
Well, because they are scared. The last people, the last Indians to be evacuated, and I'm not only talking of Sudan, sir, I've seen this in South Sudan. Also, I've seen this in Libya, I've seen this in Yemen, etc. The last to leave will be our diplomats, our embassy personnel. That is our tradition, sir. We will first get out the people, our citizens or people of Indian origin who need to go out, and the mission will be the last to leave. Sir, we don't deviate from this. We are not scared. We in the Foreign Service, we are trained to be brave in the face of difficulty.
Ambassador, let's talk about your last point there. The Indian embassy is still functioning in Sudan and coordinating with the citizens who are stuck in Sudan. Why is it important to keep lines of communications open in times of a crisis of this magnitude?
You're talking about lines of communication between the Embassy of India and Indian citizens?
Yes.
Because we are the final source of information for them. We have been interacting with them on the one hand and with the Sudanese government and other authorities on the other. By the way, you talk of the two warring generals, just a little correction. The fellow you refer to as Hemeti, I know both of them well. This guy who commands the rapid response forces, he's no general, sir. He was a camel herder, but now he's, of course, commands 100,000 people. We are in touch with both of them. Both have either studied in India or have children who've studied here or been medically treated in India. So there's a lot of goodwill. We're in touch with the two fellows who decide the destiny of Sudan. We're in touch with the Indian community. We're in touch with the Foreign Office. We're in touch with everybody, with Saudis, with the Ethiopians, with the Jordanians, with the Egyptians, etc. Wherever we see a possibility to get our people out safely, we shall do so. But I repeat, sir, that our diplomats will be the last to leave. When the last Indian has been taken out of harm's way, our people will then go, if required. By then, who knows, the situation might stabilize.
Well put, Ambassador. Finally, I just want to know from you, being an envoy in Sudan, you know the geographical location of the country or of the land. Many are finding hard to maneuver out of the country. What advice would you give the staff members and also those Indians who are stuck in Sudan at this moment?
I can't improve on the advice given by my ministry, which is to stay safe. The Indian community there, sir, like the Sudanese, they have a very powerful support system. I know this. Most of the Indian community lives in a twin city of Khartoum called Omdurman. And they are mainly Gujaratis who've been there for generations, plus others. When there is a crisis like this, and there has been in the past, even when I was ambassador there, they have this support system. They send food, they check on each other, they supply water, etc. Sometimes they get together in people's homes for safety. So they will know what to do. And my advice to the millions who might be watching, and if there are Indians among them, please listen to what the embassy says. We know what is happening. And I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, sons and daughters of India, Mother India will reach out to protect you. It always has.
We'll have to end this discussion here. I've been talking to Ambassador Deepak Vora. Thank you very much for giving WION World this one time.
Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.